he's back. What's this guy been up to? What? He took a break? Who needs a
There
break?
I am. I never
Let's
left.
get
I've
you
been here
in.
the whole time. I've been looking for you. Everyone said, no, it's me. I left, but I'm back. If you got a minute, I'd love to talk to you about what I've been up to.
I would love to hear about it.
All right. So back in the day, we used to do our show together. I used to love having our banter between you and I. I actually
Right.
loved watching your show. I saw you had Coffee Anderson on recently, and then you had that guy from
Yes.
Newsmax recently. So you've been blowing up, and I love it. So where did this guy go? Back in the spring, I took a look at my personal life and things that were going on, and the family is first, obviously, God, family, country. And I wasn't right in all of those places, so I had to take a step back from this, and I had to give my priorities to the first two, and then myself in there as well, because people who rely on me can't rely on me if I don't got my stuff together. So we took some time off, and there's a difference now. It was funny because back in the spring, I was being very pragmatic in my approach, and I was really trying to do the whole attract more flies with honey than vinegar. Yeah. And my wife would laugh when people would say, oh, you're so level-headed. I can't believe you're so easy to talk to and you're so level-headed. And she would laugh out loud and actually say they have no idea who you are. So what did we do? We came back and I said, F it, I'm done, D-U-N, spelled correctly. And now what I do is I'm me. I'm an animated guy. I'm a passionate guy. I'm actually live right now on TikTok over here, and everyone says they love how much energy and enthusiasm I bring these days. I swear a lot. Yes. It's kind of a thing I do. Juan says I can't do it here. He says maybe I get one. I don't know, maybe. So we changed things up. There's a lot more energy tonight. If you're used to seeing me before when KSok used to do a transition in, it's going to be way less stiff. It's going to be a lot more of me ranting. People seem to like that. I don't know why. Maybe it's the good looks. Maybe it's the crooked nose. I don't know which one it is, but I'm happy to see you. Oh my gosh.
Way to point something out that no one else has noticed.
Everyone has. I have one video right now has 2.5 million views. 2.2 million individual people have seen this crooked nose. I have like 20 million views total. 20 million human beings have seen this crooked nose, and they should have never seen it. Nobody should be listening to me, but they all seem to do it. And we're just going to keep doing it until they turn the lights off.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not going to lie. I really missed our banter. I'm so glad you're back with the Ram family. And I did see you on TikTok, and I love your new edginess. So, and it's
you can see the difference.
I get it. That's you. That's like the raw you. I get that. And I love that you're embracing it.
It's what it is. And I think there's a lot of people who feel that way and they have that frustration. And I was really trying not to be the angry conservative guy. There's a billion angry conservative guys. Well, there's only one me. And apparently everybody likes it and they love it. We have grown over 200,000 followers since I came back with the new improved actual me. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm avoiding the trolls. I think people fall into the pitfall. A guy did a video on me today, didn't even bother to tag me in it. One of my followers was like, hey, why don't you just ask 2 Cent about this? I took a look at it. Here's what happens. If I do engage with him and defend myself, my account's going to get taken down. I'm done. And that's a real crappy place to be. I would love to engage with this guy. You and I differ. Let's have a dialogue. That's what we're supposed to do. But as soon as I engage with you, his people are going to attack me and I'm done and my account's gone. And that's not the way it should be. But you know what? I can't do anything about that. But what I can do is I can talk fast, think fast, give everybody the truth, facts, how we do things around here. And this is what we're going to get.
Good. I've missed you. Good. I'm glad you're back. And I look forward to seeing you at one of these conventions sometime this year with the Ram family.
Which one are you going to? So, do you know yet? I've been waiting on Juan to get a schedule.
Dallas, December.
I'm looking at Dallas too. I'm looking at Dallas as well. Perhaps Nashville.
Good.
I wouldn't mind it. And you and I can meet in person. We can have a little witty banter in person.
That would be so fun. I think we would pair really well for interviews and
Juan, make it happen. Yeah, KSok and I, same table, thumbs up. We're going to be doing interviews together. You can be cool, calm, collected, and intelligent, and I'll be the buffoon on the side, trying to think he's funny, but he's not. I think it'll work.
Here's the thing. I'm a buffoon myself, so it'll be fun to be able to play off of you a little bit more. Like I'm a savage. I try to
let's get it going.
Together. But that would be fun.
I'm absolutely looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. All right. Have a great first show back.
This is my second, but we're happy. We just threw this one together. I was like, I'm done. DUN, again, spelled correctly. I got some stuff I got to get off my chest. I'm off tomorrow taking my family to Disney World because I live in a free state.
Ooh.
So we're going to do that for the whole weekend. But I just had some pent up stuff.
Nice.
We got it. I'll give you guys the heads up. It's going to be, we're talking about Millie being a traitor. We got to talk about the lack of coverage of Afghanistan, the disaster that's still down at the border, the inflation going up, the whole country falling apart. And it's been 9 months. So we got to get this going.
All right, wait, do you have a second? Are we at time or can I pick your brain?
For you, I've got two. Let's go. What do you got?
All right, good. Okay, what are your thoughts? Nicki Minaj, thoughts?
Nicki Minaj, all of us on the left had a big, all of us on the right had a hard time with her and some of the things that she had to say and the way that she was saying it. So let's be intellectually honest when she starts saying stuff that we do like, that we're kind of being picky choosy here. Now, that being said, I do embrace her saying, hey, folks, do your own research. Why wouldn't we tell folks to do their own research? She did imply a friend of a friend said something. That's her story, right? Isn't that her truth? Isn't that what they always say? It's her truth, and she should be able to say it. So that's her truth. And she did encourage people to do their own research. She didn't say don't take the vaccine. She said do your own research. But from the hive mind, thou shall espouse one thought. That's it. Joy Reid got all over her. Blue check marks on Twitter got all over her. You have a platform. You need to push this message. It needs to be the right message. That's not her message. And us on the right are always saying, go on, say what you have to say, especially if you disagree with me, because I will protect your right to say it, because who am I to say I get to say all my stupid stuff if I don't allow somebody else to say their stupid stuff?
Exactly. No, I agree with you. I'm like, I am being picky choosy a bit, where I don't love the lyrics, but I love how boss she's being, and she's not taking their BS. I mean, they're trying to invite her to the White House and have a one-on-one meeting with Fauci. Wow. What?
Yeah,
so
they're going to
so
want a video, and they're going to want to push her to say this and push her to say that, and get Joy Reid to attack.
Coercion, hello. Crazy.
Absolutely. And just keep pressing, and let people choose. I know. That's the big problem. I saw a TikTok today where somebody was talking about, actually, it was Sarah Silverman, one of my favorites, Sarah Silverman, saying, why don't we just split into a couple countries? They can be USA 1 because they always have to be number 1. And I'm like, lady, we already have. But what you don't understand is us conservatives allow you to live your own life in California. You guys want to not recall the guy who's running your country, basically, but your state into the ground, or actually into the Pacific. Fine. You guys do it. But it's all you in California who are all over Texas. You don't even live in Texas. So what she doesn't realize is we already broke up, as she put it. Let's break up. You stay in California. We'll be free here in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, she's a piece of work. She makes me nauseous. Can't handle her.
She says some pretty horrific things about men. Misandry is the word. I know we all know the word misogyny, which is equally disgusting, but she's a misandrist. Yeah. She says some nasty, nasty things about men. I'm not a particular fan of hers.
No, not at all. Me neither. No,
she's the voice. She's the voice of Vanellope Von Cruz, I think, the character in Wreck-It Ralph. And my kids like it. And every time I watch it, I have to grit my teeth because I know it's Sarah Silverman. And I don't want her to get any of my money. But if that was the case, I wouldn't watch anything Disney. I probably wouldn't even go to Disney World. But we're going to take from it what we want.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to do it. Awesome.
If that were the case, I wouldn't watch anything.
I'm going to officially back out and give you your time back.
I've loved talking with you again. I miss this. Dallas in December. Well. I'm going to see you. We're going to take over. Yes. We're going to take over the whole place.
Yes,
thank
absolutely.
you so much.
Awesome.
Juan, roll it for me. We're back. All kinds of technical difficulties. Sorry, I was ending my live. Juan's waving at me. We're good? We're happy? We're doing this. Normally, you guys are going to see me Monday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern, ramtv.live, Right America Media on Facebook. If you are watching us on Facebook tonight, or you're sticking around from KSok, please continue to write your comments, share it, put some questions in there. I'm going to have Juan put up your questions tonight, so that way we can interact a little bit more. Tonight, I had some things to get off my chest. I was on TikTok. I was getting frustrated. I was getting a little bit muted tonight, and I hit up Juan, and I said, Juan, I need to get on tonight. Finally found how to comment for 2 cents. Look at this. Andrea, you're the best. Thank you so much. So we had to get on live tonight. I threw this together. I've promised you you're going to get more of me, and me is being frantic and talking a lot and thinking a lot. My big topics for tonight, we absolutely have to talk about Milley being a treasonous MFer. Juan won't let me say the real word. I really want to talk about all the diversions and tactics they've been using. I'm being told Juan what? All right, I got to keep talking. All right, he's going to write me a message. Sorry, guys. This is kind of a last-minute show, but we're going to have some fun with it anyway. We have to talk about Afghanistan. And, oh, I get one MFer tonight. I get one MF. I'm going to hold on to that one. We have to talk about the disgusting reaction to this vaccine mandate. I really want to talk about that. Monoclonal antibodies, which DeSantis was pushing. And now, after all the blue check marks attacked him, all of a sudden we need to ration that and make sure other states get it. I really want to hit that as well. And let's see what else. I got chicken scratch here. The media covering, maybe we'll get that. And I got a little surprise for you at the end. First and foremost, United States Air Force veteran. United States Air Force veteran right here. You swear an oath to the Constitution, and you will discharge the orders, the lawful orders of the officers appointed above you. General Milley is the Joint Chief of Staff of the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is what they're called. I'm a little flustered tonight. Milley is, by all means, a political hack, an absolute political hack who's been out for himself the whole time. Do not think for 1 second he has not had a major part in the debacle in Afghanistan. If you think you know this name, but you don't quite know, he's the buffoon, to use a nice word, who sat in front of Congress and said he wanted to learn about white rage. He also declared that he'll be rooting out extremism. What is extremism? Probably people like me, patriots who supported Donald J. Trump as the president because he put America first, because he rebuilt our military, because he didn't start any new wars, because he signed peace accords. He wants to root that out. He wants to learn about white rage, as he says it. Then with Secretary Austin, who's a former four-star general himself, and with Blinken and the other generals involved in the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, absolutely key player. He should have lost his position for that alone. Again, I'm a United States Air Force veteran. If I had to serve under this guy, my morale would be absolutely 100% shot. I don't know how these guys are doing it. They're watching our equipment being run up and down in Afghanistan. We know it's being carted out on trucks to neighboring countries. If you don't know the geography, you got Pakistan to the east, who've been taking money from us for 2 decades. Meanwhile, Osama bin Laden was living there when we found and killed him. Then you got Iran over to the west, a couple of real nice chums with us. And then not too far from there, a little place called China. So we all know that this equipment is being trucked out and money is being trucked in. You know who else is sending them money? The United States of America. Because it's definitely not, you can't take me down because I'm saying it's not. It's definitely not because we're paying for the Americans to get out, because they're definitely not hostages. So when we send aid, I'm not even going to air quote you. When we send aid, it is absolutely, I love your 2 cents as well. So happy to see you here. It is not ransom. This is not ransom. I'm 100% telling you this is not ransom. We send them in money. People come out. That is not ransom. That is not a hostage situation. I'm a little all over the place. I don't care. General Milley, absolutely complicit in the disaster in Afghanistan. Now what do we find out? I'm a United States Airman. I'm working, doing the job, away from my family, doing the deployments, doing the TDYs, which is called temporary duty. I'm embracing the suck. I'm dealing with everything that sucks because I know I'm doing what's right for the United States, defending that Constitution. And I find out this general made a phone call per CNN, and I got a little tidbit on that here in a second, per CNN and Bob Woodward, who's definitely a right-wing Trumper. They are reporting, allegedly, can't kick me off for that, allegedly, that General Milley called his counterpart, General Lee, in China to let him know that everything was okay. So let's look at this through the liberal glass. The liberals say, well, this was a good thing. Trump was unhinged. The guy who's signing peace accords in the Middle East, the guy who didn't start any new wars, that's the guy who's unhinged. Because the caricature that CNN made him out to be is clearly what General Milley thought he was. Or perhaps he thought, and this is just coming to my mind right now, he thought he could get a special favor or two on the backside once the new administration came in. Maybe he was reading the tea leaves, because apparently this first call was apparently, if you ever seen that video, sorry, in October, and then the next one was in January. And definitely things were ramping up and things were getting pretty crazy at the time. And he took it upon himself. He works for the President of the United States. Flat, bar none, done. That's it. That's the answer. For him to get up there and for the left and the media, who are one and the same, to say, well, he did what was right. This is what we need. That's how coups start. That is exactly how coups start. When a general says, I have to do this for the people. The generals, the military, 100% work for the civilian of all the civilians of America, the elected civilian officials. And this man takes it upon himself to make a call to his adversary and allegedly say, if we're going to attack, I will call you first. Love seeing you here, Mark. Awesome. He called his adversary to say, we've known each other a long time. And if I'm going to attack, or we're going to use anything kinetic, which is to say things are going to explode, I'm going to let you know ahead of time. Not treason? I'm to believe this is not treason? If I call the Chinese and I tell them secrets and I tell them things that I know, I'm going to prison. I am absolutely going to prison. You're talking to somebody who's a veteran, who's had security clearances, who's worked as a civilian as a security clearance, and I'm a veteran. I know for a fact I get the training every single year. You talk to the adversary, you're going to prison. They're going to find out and you're going to prison. So first of all, if you're a coward and you have no spine and you're willing to talk to the enemy, absolutely, you need to go to prison. And if you can't be loyal, then you have to have that to hold you, and it still doesn't hold you, General Milley, you're an absolute traitor, if true, which is CNN's favorite term. We got to hear that one for 4 years. Bombshell reporting from the White House says Trump's in a lot of trouble. And if true, more bombshell reporting, and if true. So they got to use their favorite term again, if true. I told you a moment ago, I had something fun to tell you about the CNN article. CNN made a major mistake the other day. Nice to see you, Jason. Allegedly treason. Thank you very much, Jason. CNN made a mistake the other day and accidentally reported something. In that first article, they reported quotes that they got from Bob Woodward, who's reporting this in his book called Peril. I just went to that article to pull it back up so I could read it to you. The part where General Milley called allegedly General Lee to tell him, I will notify you if we're going to attack, that part's been removed from the article. How amazing. And there's nothing in there that says edited. I have screenshots of this article that I kept because I put them in the background of my TikToks. And the portion where General Milley allegedly made this phone call has now been removed. And they didn't even put anything in the article because they have no sense of ethics at all. They took it out, didn't mark it whatsoever. And now the article has been restructured with section after section. It's the same URL because I emailed it to myself. Section after section of why it was a good thing. Trump was unhinged. Milley had overheard a phone call that Trump was going to try to pull all the troops out. Actually, he was aware of an order that Trump had signed. That's a new one. Nobody's heard anything about that, but all of a sudden this article says that General Milley knew about an order that Trump was going to pull everybody out of Afghanistan 5 days before Biden took over, so that way he could hand him a grenade essentially and make him deal with it. But that didn't happen. But if true, and I'm not going to use MF on this one, but these MFers edited their article so that way they removed the damning portion. Well, unfortunate for them, your boy screenshotted it. I've already got my TikToks about it. Others have done the same. There's lots and lots of other articles about it. They are also clinging to Trump in his first interview, according to them, not believing it, but then saying, if true, himself. Trump's not an idiot. If Trump says this out loud, that's slander. And if it's not true. So Trump's not about to open himself up to a slander lawsuit. So he's very clearly going to say, well, I don't think that's the case, but if it is true, that looks like treason to me. So now he's covered. But they want to jump on that. They want to glom onto that and say that Trump doesn't even believe it himself. Now, I want to know who said it. How many people do you think were on this phone call? Do you think Colonel Vindman was on the phone call, like with the first impeachment that we got? Was there somebody else in there who was listening? Or were the two people on that phone call General Lee and General Milley? So which one said it? Do you think General Lee is going to go out there and talk crap and let people know that the Biden administration is working with them? Or would you want to keep that to yourself? Or is it a chance that General Milley thought he was going to get great press coverage? He was going to start looking like a rock star, start improving his image after the disaster from Afghanistan. I don't know. I don't know if any of that's true. It's questions I have. All right, we talked about Afghanistan. Wow, I got that off my chest. Let's do a little break. Juan, you got that picture up for me? I think Juan's going to get something pretty cool up for you guys. Next thing we're going to talk about is how the media has been diverting our attention from Afghanistan, as called by your boy. And we're also going to be talking about the vaccine mandate and how that was used to divert our attention. Pull that picture up for me, Juan. Your boys got merch. I want all of you going over to Woke R Us. I have partnered with Woke R Us. They make some really cool stuff. This t-shirt right here is a 2-cent original. You can only get it on Woke R Us. This is their #1 seller right now. It's flying off the shelves. You can get it in black, white, and also a very dark blue. This is their #1 seller on their website. It's a 2-cent original. I designed it myself. I would love for you all to go over to Woke R Us. Get you that t-shirt. I got another one up for you. Pull up the next one, Juan. We are done with Fauci. You can get it in t-shirt, long sleeve, hoodie, red, white, and blue. Another 2-cent exclusive. I designed that one as well. The t-shirt, long sleeve, and hoodie for We're Done with Fauci, I think are the 3rd, 4th, and 5th most popular on wokerus.com. And give me one more, Juan. This one, I believe, is #2 on their sellers right now. We're Done with Biden. Long sleeve, t-shirt, hoodie, red, white, and blue. I really want to see you run over to Woke R Us. I've partnered with them. I want those sales. It goes to a great cause. Bring me back one. It goes to a great cause. I'm going to tell you the cause when you get back. The great cause is my pocket. That's where it's going. I'm a capitalist. I've got 251,000 followers. I'm monetizing this, and I don't think any of you care. I don't think anybody here cares. I'm making some dollars. If AOC, one of the biggest socialists, yet one of the best capitalists I've ever seen, can monetize her socialist platform, then this capitalist can monetize his capitalist platform. I want all of you to run over there, wokerus.com, get you some merch. Back over to Afghanistan, more so the diversion technique. Who's seen anything about it? Are the Americans still there? They're still there. They are still there. Oh, Vindman is definitely a weasel. He came out against Milley. There's Americans still there, and that absolutely sucks, especially if they're female, especially if they're Christian. They're in a lot of hurt right now. They're scared, and they're alone, and they've been left there. Does anybody talk about it? No, because this administration came back after that disaster. They saw the polling. The polling showed that 80+%, I think it was 86%, of all Americans, not conservatives, not Trump supporters, 86% of all Americans were unified in hating how Biden withdrew from Afghanistan. Of course, he got away with saying why he withdrew. Well, I did this, or it was 10 years of war. And he just kept repeating the why, even though it was the how was the question. Okay, we need to get out. It's how you got out. So they saw the polling that showed 86% of all Americans were against how he pulled out. So what's he got to do? Divide us. He's got to get us divided. What's a surefire way? What's the most polarizing thing right now? COVID and the vaccines. So he jumps out there and says, I'm going to mandate it. Any company over 100, you're going to have to mandate it or I'm going to fine you. Boom! All of a sudden, the left, who cares about Afghanistan? They probably didn't even say that. They circled up those wagons and they started firing out. And we started firing in. And now my social media is blowing up with people who are blasting me that I think people should be able to have a choice. So now these people who were just 2 seconds ago pissed off at the president are now pissed off at me. And that's exactly what they wanted. And of course, the media is absolutely complicit in it. And they're going to push the COVID story, COVID story, COVID story. CNN was out front leading the way on this before the disaster was even over, while Americans were obviously still over there, but were all kept in that big herd where they got attacked. CNN was already pushing COVID and the surge and the COVID and the surge and the vaccine. And then Biden comes back out, throws a big chunk of red meat out on the table for his followers, and they just nod up and just dripping blood out of their face, and they're rabid and they're ready and they're attacking back at us. This, I get one, motherfucker went up on his podium and said the vaccination works. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We have to protect the vaccinated from the unvaccinated. Science. Science. I'm not a rocket surgeon. I have long declared this. And I'm a Republican, conservative, cisgendered white male as well. So I obviously can't read statistics and graphs. So please define for me how a vaccine works. And I'm not saying it doesn't. The vaccine works. The vaccine works. The unvaccinated are the ones that are dying. They all have access to the vaccine. You're telling me the only ones that are dying don't have a vaccine. Why am I protecting the vaccinated from the unvaccinated? How on earth does this make sense? Everyone and their brother has made this point since. Of course, nobody has the answer for it. The science. The science is back in the White House. We're following science. The science, the science, the science. Except for when there's a separate human being in another human being with their own DNA, their own heartbeat, and their own brain. That's not science either, but I digest. I digest. They got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. No one's talking about Afghanistan. We're all firing away at each other, and I'm doing it right now. But I'm going to keep bringing up Afghanistan. There are Americans who are stuck there. There are brave Americans who are doing their best to get them out and have done a fantastic job. You can look that up. And this administration is more concerned about, I don't want to use the term cover up, but definitely diverting your attention. Divert, 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 and get us to fight, fight, fight against each other. Go back to January 20th when he was inaugurated and he gave his speech, when he pledged unity. The thing. You know the thing, we're going to get that. And all they do whenever they need to get the heat off of them for all the crises they've caused, throw some red meat out there for the left, they go rabid and they all fight each other. And this is quite apparent in what happened in California. Two things happened in California. Republicans didn't come out to vote. Take a look at the voter turnout versus the presidential election. And they ran on COVID in California. If you heard me at the beginning when I was talking to KSok, California, you want to lock down? Lock down. You want to wear 5 masks? Wear 5 masks. You guys want to put your kids in masks forever? Put your kids in masks forever. That's what you want in California. That's what you have showed. Great. Good for you. I support that. Stay in California. And for all of you who are going to flee, and you're going to go to Arizona, and you're going to go to Texas, remember what you left. And remember what you ran to. If you guys want that, you can have that. COVID is the forefront for the left, which is why Biden used that. No one's talking about Afghanistan anymore. A little bit more about vaccines. So that monoclonal, if I'm saying it right, monoclonal. DeSantis was pushing that for weeks. He's opened up so many distribution sites for this. And again, on social media, I watched the left go nuts that DeSantis wasn't pushing the vaccine. They would do comparisons of number of times he mentioned the antibody treatment versus the vaccine. And they were going crazy. Well, of course, he pushes the vaccine. He's vaccinated. He suggests that you get vaccinated. But there's also an early treatment that works. Why wouldn't he set this up? Why wouldn't he go out there and talk to folks? And they went nuts that he wasn't just talking about the vaccine. Here we are today, and all of a sudden the Biden administration is rationing the monoclonal, I'm going to keep screwing it up, the antibody treatment. In days, we went from, you're a crazy person, to, I'm going to need some of those back, please, and I'm going to give them over here. It's definitely not political payback at all. Definitely not. Can't take me down. Not political payback. And what I absolutely love about it is this has exposed what socialized medicine does. It forces rationing. For those of you on the left who want your equity, which is what Jen Psaki said, we're going to distribute this equitably with equity. That's what you get when the federal government decides. The federal government gets to decide who gets it and who doesn't get it. Blue states apparently don't want it. We in Florida love it. Send us some more. We'd love to get it. We have distribution sites all set up. Folks are getting treated. Both vaccinated and unvaccinated are getting their early treatment. Now, because we have to go to the federal government and say, please, 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 give me what I'm asking for, well, they're going to give us what they deem we should be having. This makes the exact point. Socialized medicine forces rationing, and the federal government gets to decide who's going to get it and who doesn't get it. I had people jump on me and say, well, we have a free market right now and we already have rationing of healthcare. Is that because we have so many people in the beds, or because people are walking off the job? Because people are refusing to get this vaccine and they're getting fired. Up in New York, there's a hospital that reported they can't have any more babies up there. Don't come here. We don't have enough workforce. New York had to put a pause on a mandate to get vaccinated in their hospitals because people were walking away. Medical professionals, again, not a rocket surgeon, but these medical professionals, they're walking away from it because they don't want it. And then we want to use that to force statistics that says, well, there's so many people in the beds that we can't treat people, or you don't have enough staff. Which one is it? Juan, where are we at for time? What do you want to do? You got some more? You got a little bit more? All right. Let's talk about the border. Let's talk about the border. Reporting is showing that 208,000 interactions with people who crossed illegally. First of all, that's just the ones we caught. Nobody ever talks about how many got through that we don't have a clue. Nobody talks about that. And the headlines we're reading, number of border crossings decreased. Sure did. Man, they really did. They went from 213,000 to 208,000. We are on our way, folks. It's going to be over soon. It's basically not even happening anymore. This isn't even really, it's not a problem. Joy Reid was right. This is a manufactured crisis. So when you see thousands, 8,000 is what they're predicting right now, or actually projecting 8,000 people standing under a bridge on the American side, not a crisis. Not a crisis. Where are they going? Where are the kids going? Are the kids in cages? Definitely not kids in cages. They're being taken care of humanely. Are they on the bases? Is anybody watching them? Where are they going? When you hear about, what was it? 2/3 of the people aren't coming back. Imagine that. You say, hey, I'd really like for you to come back. Maybe you can come back another time. And they're not coming back. Imagine that. They want to say it's unaccompanied children who are walking thousands of miles. I don't know if you trust your kid to walk a mile to 7-Eleven and actually find their way on a one-way street, but these kids can walk thousands of miles to the border in clean clothes. But I digest. They're telling me it's children. They're telling me it's families, yet 80% of the people they're encountering, per their statistics, are single men. Single men. But yeah, it's all kids. And they're definitely not being put in cages. I could tell you that absolutely right now. Hey, Kaylee, ivermectin is being villainized. Okay. Let's get to that in 1 second. I will only talk factually on that because I don't want us to get taken down. All right, back to the border. It's an absolute disaster. It is absolutely caused by Biden and the Democrats right now in their reconciliation bill, which they're going to be able to jam through without any Republican votes. They are putting in there somehow amnesty. Reconciliation is only supposed to deal with the budget. But I guess if you put money in there that then pays for reconciliation, now we can put money in there that pays for amnesty. Now we can put amnesty in there. They're looking for anyone who's here right now. You're going to become naturalized and we're going to give you money to get you started. That probably has nothing to do with people flooding the border. There's probably no correlation there whatsoever. You cannot convince me that when you have a regime in DC and they've got the legislature and they've got the executive branch, and they're saying they're going to give amnesty and give you money, you cannot convince me that is at all influencing these people to flood the border. You cannot. You can't convince me. You can't convince me that Biden's saying during the campaign to surge the border. That is not influencing it whatsoever. It's clearly seasonal. Psaki was right. She just didn't say how long the season was. The season lasts a year. It's still a season. It's migration season. You don't know how long that lasts. You would probably lie and say that it was just for the spring. It's definitely not the administration. And then the fact that they don't have to get the shot. Why would we? Why would we? I don't know. Back to ivermectin. So per Joe Rogan, and don't take me down for saying this, Joe Rogan, you can go to his podcast. He said, it's not quite as big as mine. You might have heard of the guy. He's not too bad. He said his doctor prescribed it. And he said he was joking, but he was wondering if he had to sue CNN. He was prescribed it. And CNN and everybody else went off about how it's horse dewormer and that it shouldn't be taken whatsoever. I'm not saying take it or don't. I'm talking about Joe Rogan saying that he was prescribed it and that his doctor recommended that he take it. And then Joe Rogan reported that it helped. I have no problem if something is normally used for one animal, but it works in another one. They also give horses ibuprofen. So we should probably not be taking that for headaches as well, because that's horse headache medicine. Do we have any more questions on there? Those are kind of fun. What we have in this administration, and then we'll probably call it there, are actual crises caused by this administration. Not the made up stuff under Trump. Not the Muslim ban, which wasn't a Muslim ban. Not the Russian agent, Donald Trump Jr. meeting in Trump Tower with a Russian lawyer. And then when he found out that she wasn't there to actually work with him, he ended the meeting. Not crap like that. Collusion, cover up, obstruction of justice. Not all these made up. You have a debacle and an embarrassment on the world stage in Afghanistan, which costs lives unnecessarily. You have a crisis at the border, which won't stop. You have inflation increasing every month with no signs of stopping. This is all initiated by Biden. Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo. Don't get me started on Chris Cuomo tonight. I'm about to go off on Chris Cuomo tonight. Not going to do it. Not tonight. They want to get up there and say how stupid we all are that we have free choice. How stupid all of us are. And they also want to get up there and say that everything that Biden is doing is working. I have no clue what they're talking about. I live in the world where I read things and I can see pictures and I can formulate and make my own conclusions. I'm a weird person. I probably shouldn't be doing that. All right, we're getting a little off topic here. I had a great time. Juan, you got anything for me before we sign off? He's happy. Wait, we're going to wait. Monday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern on Right America Media, ramtv.live, or hop on over to Woke R Us, and I want you to get your Here's My Vaccine Passport. We're done with Fauci. WokeRUs.com. These are 2-cent exclusives. We're done with Biden. You can normally find me 7 p.m. Eastern, ramtv.live, Right America Media on Facebook. The Loaded Mic is coming up next. Great show. Guy is really smart when it comes to Second Amendment, and he's a good guy. I want you to stick around. And I'm out of here, Juan. Thanks for the time.